뭐 잡았습니다.
It's day 5 and the war is still widening. Israel is striking new targets deep inside Iran. Meanwhile, Iran is hitting riskier locations in the Gulf. US diplomatic missions are on their radar. Multiple embassies and consulates have been hit, and these strikes have done the unthinkable. Iran is driving out American citizens from West Asia. Let's look at the latest strikes. Iran fired 3 missiles and 130 drones at the UAE. One of the drones targeted the US consulate in Dubai. You could see a plume of smoke rising from the building. This was not an isolated strike. US embassies in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait had also been hit, so Washington has decided to take a tough call. It is asking Americans in West Asia to leave the region immediately. Even Turkey may not be safe anymore. Despite having US bases, Iran had not attacked Turkey yet, but that could be changing. Today, Turkey downed an incoming missile from Iran. Some reports say the regime was perhaps trying to hit Cyprus, and that the missile veered off course. Either way, the risk is significant because Turkey is a member of the NATO alliance. An attack on them would trigger a collective response. Basically, it could draw in other NATO countries. Overnight, Iran also fired drones and missiles at Jerusalem. The interceptions lit up the night sky. The battle is also raging at sea. Iran claims it has completely shut down the Strait of Hormuz. We've told you about this before. The strait carries 20% of the global oil trade. Its closure has already led to soaring oil prices. Meanwhile, the US Navy is hunting Iranian warships. Today, a US submarine sank one of them near Sri Lanka. The ship was called IRIS Dena. It was sunk by a US torpedo in the Indian Ocean. Sri Lanka's military responded to this incident. They managed to rescue 32 sailors, but so far at least 80 have been confirmed dead. The US military also did a press conference today. They gave 3 important updates. 1, the US claims it will have complete control over Iran's skies in a few days. Number 2, they say Russia and China are non-factors in this war. And number 3, they claim larger attacks are yet to come.
The 2 most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies, uncontested airspace. I hope all the folks watching understand what uncontested airspace and complete control means. And as President Trump said, more and larger waves are coming. We are just getting started. We are accelerating, not decelerating. So our air defenses and that of our allies have plenty of runway. We can sustain this fight easily for as long as we need to.
What is your message to Iran's allies, namely Russia and China, who have called for an immediate end to hostilities?
I don't have a message for them, and they're not really a factor here. And our issue is not with them, it's with the nuclear ambitions of Iran.
The US is also making a strange claim. They say Iran was behind an assassination plot against Donald Trump. And the official who ordered that hit has now been killed. As usual, there is no evidence to back up this claim. Israel, too, is continuing its aerial attacks. They have begun striking targets deeper inside Iran. Targets like Isfahan, which is home to nuclear facilities. The Israelis have two sets of targets in Iran. The first are the regime power centers, like your security buildings, your command headquarters. The second set are the military sites, like air defenses and missile launch pads. Israeli jets have flown 700 plus sorties so far. They claim to have destroyed more than 150 ballistic missiles, plus more than 200 air defense systems. We're talking about a very expansive operation. Let me pull up the map for you. All these Iranian sites have been hit so far. All of these places have come under attack. More than 2,000 targets in more than a dozen cities. The capital, Tehran, has been pounded relentlessly. The holy city of Qom has been hit. So have cities like Natanz, Isfahan, and Shiraz. If you look at this map, there is a clear trend. Most of the targets are in central and western Iran, and this is by design. Israel and the US wanted to create an air corridor over Tehran, meaning they had to clear out the west. They needed a clear passage. The question is, what comes next? Israeli media says the strikes will continue for 1 or 2 weeks. These hits will likely focus on other locations. The US military talked about this. They want to target sites deeper into the country, basically in eastern Iran.
This progress has allowed CENTCOM to establish localized air superiority across the southern flank of the Iranian coast and penetrate their defenses with overwhelming precision and firepower. We will now begin to expand inland, striking progressively deeper into Iranian territory and creating additional freedom of maneuver for U.S. forces.
Clandestine work is also underway. Reports say the CIA and Mossad are reaching out to anti-regime groups like the Kurdish militants in northwest Iran and the Baloch in the southeast. The plan is to arm these groups and encourage them to fight the Iranian regime. But will it succeed? Well, the regime knows what the plan is. Today, the Iranian Guards fired missiles into Kurdish sites in neighboring Iraq. So the Iranian regime's message is quite simple. Don't even think about it. As of now, we are not hearing about rebellions or protests inside Iran. The regime will be hoping to keep it that way, and for that, leadership will be key. It's been almost 4 days since Ayatollah Khamenei's death was announced. His funeral was supposed to be held today, but at the last minute, the regime decided to postpone it. On paper, the reason they give is logistics. But who knows what's happening behind the scenes? Like we've said before, this is a war of math and attrition. Iranian missiles versus US air defenses. Washington claims the missile launches are already down from Saturday, almost 83% down in 5 days. That is the claim. For starters, we do not know if this is true. And even if it is true, the impact has not changed. Iran may be firing fewer missiles, but their drones are actually wreaking havoc across the Gulf. Either way, a quick de-escalation appears unlikely at this point. Both sides are digging in for the long run.
Power doesn't end quietly. Some deaths are not accidents. They are messages. A gunshot. A crowd. A country frozen. The killer disappears. The questions don't. This is not just about who died. It's about what followed. Governments fell. Armies moved. History rewrote itself. 5 leaders. 5 moments. One pattern. The assassination.